Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Doing Jewish podcast. My name is Avi Farkas, and this episode we will continue discussing various Shabbat customs, practices, and traditions. We discussed lighting Shabbat candles. We discussed making kiddush, making a blessing over a cup of wine, and in this episode, the custom of blessing our children on Shabbat, on Friday night. Some people do it before Kiddush, some people do it after Kiddush. I personally, my custom is to do it before Kiddush. Some people do it differently. If you have a custom to do it either before or after, I would not change a custom that you have. Anyways, why do we bless our children Friday night? It's always a special thing to bless children in the Jewish tradition. We find the concept of blessing children at the end of Genesis. When Jacob was about to pass away, he blessed his children. We actually find it earlier. We find it with Isaac. Isaac, before he passed away, he blessed Jacob. But it's more pronounced when Jacob blesses the children of Joseph and Jacob's children. And the traditional blessing that we say is the same blessing that Jacob gave to Joseph's children, Ephraim and Manasseh, when he blessed them. And in Jacob's blessing, he commented that Jews throughout millennia will bless their children to be like Ephraim and Manasseh. And the way the blessing sounds in Hebrew is Yisimcha Elokim ke Ephraim v'che Manasseh. May God make you joyous like Ephraim and Manasseh. And then we say the Birchat Kohanim, the special priestly blessings. Yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Hashem panav elecha v'choneka, Yisa Hashem panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Which translates as, so Yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha means may God bless you and guard you. Then Ya'er Hashem panav, may God shine his face, Elecha v'choneka, upon you and be gracious to you. And then the third phrase is Yisa Hashem panav, may God turn his face, Elecha, towards you, v'yasem lecha shalom, and grant you peace. So that is the blessing that we tell our children, and many people have the custom, which is a beautiful custom, to add an additional blessing at the end of the traditional blessing. And this could be any blessing that you feel it's important to you or important to your child that you want to give your child. So, for example, I bless my children every week after I give the traditional blessing. I pray to God that my children should be happy in school, should have friends, should like people, people should like them. I pray that my children should be successful and grow and all kinds of good things. They should be healthy. And all of that I include as my own personal blessing. And then another beautiful custom that many people have, and I do this also, is I whisper something into my child's ear at the end of the blessing. And I try to embrace that moment. It's a moment essentially where it's Friday night, it's a family time. We have our Shabbat candles lit. We're sitting around the table. We're about to make Kiddush. And we're really coming together as a family. And I like to take that moment when I just bless my child. And my child is sitting there or standing with, their beautiful special Shabbat clothing on, freshly bathed. And I take that moment and I try to create that moment, make that moment into something eternal. I try to bond with that child. I want to think about something special about that child. What that child did that week that was special. Or what about that child do I find inspiring or special? Or something that I'm proud of. And I think of that. And I whisper into the child's ear and I tell them, I noticed that. I noticed you. There's something about you that I noticed. Whether it was the fact that they shared a toy with their brother or sister, or whether it was the fact that they listened to when their parents told them to do something, or they said, I'm sorry, or they said the truth. I'm the one who did that wrong thing. Those are things that I make sure that at least once a week, I show them that I notice. And it's important. It's important in building that relationship with our children that we notice that we're going through this busy week. We're working. We're busy with our work. We're busy with all of our projects, all of our things. And when we're not busy, we're following the news or sports or whatever else we're busy with. And then we go through this cycle of just going through life without taking a moment to just connect with the people around us. And that is another thing that's beautiful about Shabbos. So beautiful that we could take a moment and we could take a break from technology. We could take a break from social media. We could take a break from the news and from sports and from the politics and from whatever we're busy with, and just focus on our family and focus on our relationships. And if we really have enough time, we can even focus on our relationship with God and with our Judaism. But even if we're not ready for that, we can still focus on ourselves and our relationship with our spouse and our relationship with our children. That's something that is beautiful about Shabbos, and is especially beautiful about this moment of Shabbos. Just before we come to this full embrace of Shabbos with Kiddush, we take this moment to spend a special time with our children, and also we take this moment to really focus, noticing what they need, their needs are, praying for those needs, acknowledging them, and acknowledging the things that we're proud of. We're proud of them for. We said that we bless our children to be like Ephraim and Manasseh, the children of Joseph. Why specifically those two children? Why not any of the other children of Jacob? Why did Jacob tell Ephraim and Manasseh that we should bless our children for them? So there are many answers that are given, but one answer that I really connected with is that Ephraim and Manasseh were the first of the offsprings of Abraham that did not get into a disagreement with their siblings. We know that Abraham had two children, Isaac and Ishmael, and they were in a disagreement, and ultimately Abraham kicked threw Ishmael out of their home. Isaac had two children, Jacob and Esau, and got into some disagreements. Jacob had a whole bunch of children. He had 12 children, and they got into a disagreement with Joseph. So we find a theme recurring that there's disagreements within family units, and that's something that happens even with the greatest of our forefathers. Obviously, this is not something that we want. This is not something that's ideal. This is less than ideal. However, Joseph's two children, Ephraim and Manasseh, are the first children of Abraham's offsprings that did not fight, that did not get into disagreement. And therefore, that is what we bless our children to be like. We want our children to emulate Ephraim and Manasseh, to be able to live in unity, live together, and to grow together, and to bring out the best in each other, and to see that the other one's existence is not a contradiction, and it's not something that you have to be afraid of. Rather, it's something that you can use to bring yourself up and work together to better further the Jewish people. And that's how we bless our children. We give our children the encouragement and the blessing that they should be able to work together in unison with their family, with their siblings, and with the entire Jewish people to make the world a better place.